Hi, this is Steve Barton for Solid Rock Machine Shop Incorporated. Jonathan has joined us once again. The last time was here, we ground up this block that he uses as a setup block for other work. We got this square, parallel, and flat within 1/10,000th of an inch. This is the V block that he was going to grind on. He's already got it mounted on there, and Jonathan's going to take over from here and tell you what he's going to do from here.
So these two biggest surfaces are ground, less than 50 millionths in flatness and being parallel. So now that it's on our cube that is within 1/10, we're going to get these two sides hopefully as good as the cube by putting it on the surface grinder and grinding them. We're going to do it dry grinding to avoid all these holes from getting filled with coolant and having to blow them out and then having coolant get on our surface plate. And while I'm doing that, Steve's going to talk a little bit more about what he has going on with this Sine plate and the final steps of tweaking that in.
Okay. And before John does that, what we're going to do, we're going to dry grind that. We know we're going to get a little bit, maybe a 50 millionth bowl. We're not concerned about that because when we remove it from the cube, we set it back down on the granite, and then we'll use coolant, get this side flat, we'll flip it back over, and we'll take that out. So it will eventually be used coolant, but just not on the cube because, again, there's so many holes, it's just a real pain to clean that coolant up. In the last video we did, we were refreshing this 10-inch Sine plate out. I have it set up with a gauge stock black now set for 45 degrees. What you haven't seen is this block I have mounted on here with two screws here, two screws holding in there. I originally designed this so that I have other pieces that I haven't finished out, so I can make this at a 10-inch Sine vise. I had other units that I was going to put up here so that I can actually make it a fixture where I can grind between centers that was motorized, that you can swing up at angles. I just never got to that point where we finished that up. With some of the modern equipment with hard turning and different things like that we do, a lot of the work that I would have used this for, we just do that with hard turning now. I have a test bar that I ground up in the past. This thing is very straight, same diameter on both ends, no bow in it, and we'll use this to see how accurate when we set Jonathan's V-block in here. We're going to use this test bar over here to see if this is sitting at an angle or if it's sitting flat. And I already know what's going to happen because I already tested that. But let me set this up again. You see we're setting about 0 there. And we're about 2/10,000ths of an inch off, and I know it's closer than that, so let me, I may have a little bit of dust or something in there. I'm settling in the indicator. Let me retry this again. So here we're setting at about plus 50 millionths. And here we're sitting at about minus. We're about 1/10 off. And I can do some different things. I can loosen these screws up. I can go over here and I can, on the high side, I can put just a little bit of a marker, put that back on, screw this up a little bit. At 1/10 in that distance, I think we're going to leave it alone. Because when we grind this V in, we got other ways that we can use that if we need to get it closer than that. But anyhow, this is what we'll be using when Jonathan finishes getting his V-block squared, screwed up. We'll use this to grind the V in, and hopefully everything will work out good. He'll have a V-block he'll use for many years, and that'll be really accurate. Hi, we're coming in the house for a little bit. We're going to take a break and we're going to eat lunch. And my wife and the daughters, they prepared us some homemade wet burritos. They hand make the sauce and everything. We're going to have opportunity to treat Jonathan to it. If you can see the spread that we got on the table over here. We got a lot of goodies there. We got some brownies for dessert. We got a number of different hot sauces, but this is one of the hottest hot sauces I've ever had. It's from Pucker Butt Company, and trust me, they live up to that reputation. But this is I think it was the Carolina Reaper pepper, extremely hot. And then we got some other mild hot sauces. But we're going to take a break for a little bit, and we're going to sit down and enjoy wet burritos, and then we'll get back out and get back to the grind. I'd introduce the rest of the family, but they're all camera shy.
So I got the two sides of my V-block ground. When I was doing it, the ceramic mix grinding wheel with no coolant had built up some heat and wasn't holding up very well, so I ended up grinding these blue areas down 5/10 below this other surface. So when we flip this over, this will be on the magnet. And when we're using coolant, because we won't have our cube filling up with the holes with coolant, we'll be able to get this other side nice and flat and then flip it back over and grind this nice and flat. And right now, this surface is flat and the needle is well within 50 millionths. So yesterday we got the V-block all squared up in parallel. Most of it is within 1/10. There's one area that's almost 2/10 out, but I'm still happy with that. So we went ahead and started grinding the V part of it in. We have this Sine plate with our stack up, and one nice thing about having all these holes is we can run a bolt right through the Sine plate and get it bolted down in there. And right now this surface is ground nice and flat within 1/10. And we're going to go ahead and take this and flip it around and grind this other side in and get it close to central, but it'll be a lot easier grinding once this is finished to grind one of the ends to get the V centered on the block. And with this setup and our grinder, we had a little bit of an issue with clearance on the shield. So we took that off and we're grinding for a little bit with that off, but now we have that modified, so should be able to put that back on and it will just be sitting up higher so we don't have the clearance issue, and Steve will tell you a little bit about that.
Yeah. So what Jonathan's talking about, Adam, took a little bit of a shot showing how we're grinding, and we've done it when we have to. Sometimes your guard gets in the way of your part gets in the way of your guard. There's interference. You got to move your guard off. But I never like grinding with the wheel like this. It's off now, so it's not going to hurt to touch. But I never like grinding with that. It just kind of scary. What we did, because we were so close, by the time we hit the V, the wheel was, or the thing would just be barely hitting here. So what I did, I took this guard. Adam got some video of that as well. It just had round holes, and what I did, I just elongated those slots, and so now we'll be able to slide this up to about a 1/2 inch, still have a lot of protection on our guard, but we'll still be able to move it a little bit out of our way. So what we're going to do, we're gonna cut off for a minute. We're gonna pull the wheel off. We're gonna put this guard on, get it all set back up, and redress the wheel, and then we'll come back to the video and we can show Jonathan setting his V-block up for the other side there.
Alright, so I'm gonna set up on the other side that's not round yet. This side is good and square with these other surfaces within a 10. And the sine plate, and we have it set up on a stop, so it's gonna get us really close, being central, and our zero that's set on the digital readout is going to be really close to where we need to be in relation to the other side. And there's a slot in the sine plate and a hole in the V-block, so we can just run the bolt in there. And it does not need to be really tight. It just needs to be tight enough to not move. If you go too tight, it'll start to distort the sine plate and or the V-block. Alright, we're set up on that other side now, and you can see how close that guard is. We're actually probably almost 3/4 of an inch higher than what it was, so we don't have that clearance issue, and ready to start grinding that side in. So it's all ground in now, and everything within the distance of the V-block for parallel and squareness all came out within 2/10, and most of it is within 1/10, and you can see that. And if you flip it up and do it this way, the V's even central to the block within 2/10. So I'm happy with it.
Okay, what we had a milestone this weekend. We have over 100 subscribers, and we just appreciate everyone that subscribed. The new people watching this, if you haven't subscribed, we appreciate it if you subscribe. We hope you're liking it. Give us a thumbs up, and we'll have other projects, and hopefully we'll have Jonathan out here a little bit more in the future, and we'll go from there. We'll see you next time.